We have been transforming our backyard from a bunch of dead grass into a beautiful hangout area. This has been about 6 months of progress, but we do have a lot of plans to continue working on this backyard and transforming different areas of it slowly over time. Today I'm sharing adding some lights so you will see how we transform this area in the nighttime, what it will look like once we add some lights into here, and also we are prepping and going through Hurricane Hillary, which once it hit us, it became a tropical storm. We were surprised that we did not get as much rain and wind as we thought we would, but we're going to prep for that and I'm going to show you what we went through. Here I am hanging a strand of lights that we purchased from Costco. We had these in the box in our garage for probably 4 months now. We could have hung these up, but things just kept happening. So I thought today's the day I'm gonna get out here and hang up these lights. We already had a strand of these hanging under our patio cover that's connected to our house. So I plugged straight into that, pulled it over from the fence, and it wrapped perfectly around this pergola. So I was very happy that it was able to make it all the way around. And I just used some black zip ties for now to hook it on here. Because this pergola top does open and shut, it can't be hooked on certain areas. So I had to get creative here, but I was extremely happy with the way this turned out. Now on to cleaning up this bougainvillea flowers. These tend to blow around our backyard and they're really hard to clean up with a broom and dustpan because they're so lightweight. We decided to try using the shop vac, and this was such an amazing hack to clean up these little flowers. I probably filled this bin 4 or 5 times, emptying it out into our green bin. I even got down here and under the plant, I was able to vacuum up so many of these flowers. This did such a wonderful job and it was really quick and easy. And it was great because I didn't have to pick up all the heavier bark and rock. So this just worked really well. If you ever want to try it out, it was great. This is the side of our house where we still plan to do something in this area where I am raking right now. It's currently just some seasonal weed type grass that gets green in the winter, but as summer kicks in, it all dies off and becomes dirt and a few weeds here and there. So our plan is to do something along here. We're not positive yet. We did plant all of these large hopseed bushes when we first moved in here about a year after we lived here, and they have just grown enormous. So I have to keep up on this, trimming them quite often. And also the bougainvillea has just taken off and I have to keep that trimmed because if not, it goes over onto the neighbor's side. So we try to keep that in check by trimming it quite often and making sure we're on top of that.
Here I am. Look, I have my bug legs on.
My mom comes over a lot and we work together in the yard. It's so fun. I consider it a great way to get exercise, get outside, and get some fresh air. I actually love the fact that I have to be out here doing all this because it makes me get outside in nature, and it honestly makes me so happy to work out in the yard. We also have a raised garden bed, as you can see over there at the end of this area here. And that is where my husband has his garden things, which is normally just chili peppers. This year, we didn't really have the time to plant that box because we were working on the rest of the yard. So I just put some wildflowers in there and some drought tolerant flowers. They're either going to take off or they're not, but I just wanted to have something in there rather than just a whole bunch of weeds. Another reason for trimming those hopseed bushes and taking a little bit of the weight out of them is because we were very unsure of what was going to happen with that hurricane coming towards California. Of course, now we know it wasn't as extreme as they first thought it would be when the tropical storm would hit us, but we didn't know. And in the past, when we've had some pretty radical storms, the weight of the hopseed bushes actually made them fold over. So I wanted to take some of the weight off. I also wanted wanted to pull out some weeds while I could and just trim this area back because it was getting a little bit out of hand. And if I don't stay on top of it, it tends to just look like a mess. So we were trying to clean up and put everything away before the storm hit. This was Friday and the storm actually kicked in on Sunday. So we weren't sure, of course, when and what was going to happen, but I'm glad we took this opportunity to get everything put in order. I'm now looking in our gutters because I wanted to make sure everything was cleared out of there, because when there's a big storm coming, these gutters need to be cleared out, or else we have a real problem with overflowing and it looks like a waterfall. I also covered the furniture and we opened the pergola. So we were completely ready. The tropical storm hit and it came as waves. So we would get a huge downpour and then it would lighten up a lot, and then all of a sudden another huge downpour would happen. And at the same time when all of this was going on, we actually had an earthquake. I was the only one in our house that felt this earthquake, but it felt as if someone moved me, like my chair was pushed. And I looked out the window to see what that could have been, and I just saw the curtains slowly moving. I jumped up and asked everyone if they felt it, and nobody else in the house felt it but me. But it was about a few hours drive away, and it was a pretty big earthquake. So now we're on to cleaning up from that and adding some solar lights into the backyard here. We decided to get them off of Amazon. I will link them down below. I read the reviews and my whole goal was to get something bright with just solar power. And eventually we might do some kind of wired lights, but right now we wanted to go off of solar. And these are great. I was really unsure, but I looked at the reviews, as I said, and I looked at the photos that people had put up, and we decided to just try these out. When I got up this morning, I opened them up and just put them in the sun. So they had been charging in the sun since early in the morning, and it was a really sunny, hot day. So they were able to charge to their full capacity before we put them out in the yard. And then I pretty much just let Grant tell me where he wanted to put them. The goal was to not put them too close to the edge of the planters here because we have young kids, and of course, young kids go around on bikes and scooters, and we just didn't want them breaking off or getting hit really easily. So we decided to bring them in a little bit, and we also wanted them to give off a glow more than a bright spotlight. We're putting them in, and then we will move them once it's dark and we change our minds.
Do one on each side of that trellis in the middle of the arch. I think they'll be directionals later on, but for now,
yeah.
We don't
Okay, so just two, one on the arch, one there.
Yeah.
We always do all projects with our backyard and inside our house with the idea that things may change in the future. So obviously, as these plants get bigger, we might be moving these lights around and we might be making changes. And as the plants grow, we might even move plants around. So we just always try to have an open mind, and we like to be creative, and that's what this backyard is for us. It's a creative outlet. We've put in all the lights except for one. We're gonna wait and see tonight how it looks, and then we'll add one. And that will be our determining factor, where the light needs to be. We have 6 of these garden lights, is what they're called on the box, and we have 6 of the spotlights. I think this is a great amount. Once we had them all lit up at night, I think we could add a few more here and there. We're gonna wait and see, but this is what they look like in the day. And as you can see, we're probably gonna have to move some of them as these plants grow, or keep the plants trimmed down around them. And then I just had to add this clip in here. This is Levi, he's 1 year old, and he's enjoying the yard so much. He absolutely loves it. So this is what the lights look like at night, and the camera is not doing this justice. In real life, these give off a really beautiful yellow glow, and they make the yard look so nice and transformed. It just gives that extra beautiful feel to our backyard. And the nice thing is that our backyard is now lit up even when we don't have the brighter twinkle lights on, which you can see here that are wrapped around the pergola. We love the way this looks at night now, and it feels like we can actually hang out here because we're not sitting in the dark. But these look so good in real life. They look nice on the camera too, but in real life, it just looks amazing. And I want to mention that you can watch the full video of this backyard transformation linked down below. If you're new, hit the subscribe button to join my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!